You're listening to Montreal Now with Aaron Rand and Natasha Hall on CJAD 800.
That is James Mennie over at the Montreal Gazette. And I don't know about you, Jim, but I audibly guffawed when I heard about this proposed $30,000 raise for MNAs. Like, talk about bad timing. And yet then I think I read somewhere that they actually haven't had a real raise in 20 years. Is that true?
That is true. I mean, their salaries remain indexed, but in terms of a real, tangible, mathematical raise, they haven't had one in 20 years. And of course, the reaction is rather predictable, and indeed Quebec Solidaire, which can afford to say this because they, even if they vote against it, they can go through the make the gesture. But if the government votes in favor, they're off the hook and they get the raise too. Listen, the thing is, and you don't have to have been behind a microphone as long as you or I to know that a lot of people say, what is this ridiculous? Those people don't do anything. The average work week of a provincial MNA is about 63 hours, and you throw in an average of 10 hours traveling time because there are some people who live in rather far-flung regions. I mean, we live in a province or a nation, depending on your point of view. It's about 3 times the size of France, and it can be a schlep to the office on the weekends. It's also an extremely demanding job. It's the old cliche. When someone gets in trouble, I'm going to leave politics to spend more time with my family. Fact is, a lot of people genuinely leave politics because they need to spend more time with their family because they had no idea of how demanding the job would be. The other issue here as well, and it's great. It's more than twice the average salary of a Canadian. Okay, fine, but if you want, how can I put this? If you want motivated, talented people, people who are doing the job because they want to do the job, and you're expecting them perhaps, and we've had this other conversation, which is, why don't we see more quality candidates stepping forward? Well, if you are going to take a haircut, a salary haircut, if you decide to go into public life and to go into public service, as it should properly be called, we're setting up a situation where unless you're independently wealthy, you need not apply. So what's the motivation here? Who exactly are we sending to the National Assembly? So it's not an easy question, but I can understand how you would want to have some tangible return on your effort. You will be constantly criticized no matter what you do. If you don't do anything directly, the government that you work for or the opposition party you work for, they will be criticized, and you'll be dragged in on that. It's in many cases a very, very thankless and demanding job. And anyone who listens to this show knows, I'm not a cheerleader for various parties of government or any party of government, but I do understand that this job is a meat grinder. And quite frankly, when you look at what they're getting now, about $100,000, okay, that's fine. And if they get a second term, they get a pretty good pension too. But the fact of the matter is, you've got to make it more attractive for people to enter into it. If not, we are going to see, and we're seeing now, the number of, how can I put it, desirable candidates, the number of socially advantageous candidates for society in Quebec is going to be reduced to a trickle.
Oh, you're so right. It's an absolutely brutal job, a largely thankless job. And if they can make a heck of a lot of more money in the private sector, how do you attract talent? And then I think about, Galen Weston, right, in the $12 million range. It's like, okay. Francois Legault, I think in this pay hike would go from $208,000 to $270,000. That does not seem outrageous to me, which I think is not the popular point of view.
But the other thing as well is that, and because party leaders have to, I think all MNAs have to give financial declarations. And I remember when Francois Legault was first elected, he's worth $10 million.
Yeah.
So he's not doing this for the money. Okay. I'm sure he's happy to get a paycheck. I don't think he'd do it for free. But this is a situation. Do you want necessarily people from that class, I can't think of a better word at the moment, who are going to be in charge of running our government, people who are perhaps a little removed from the realities, the financial realities that face a lot of Quebecers? I know Francois Legault is very happy with the checks, the $400 checks, the $200 checks, whatever. And it's not a big chunk of change for the people in the real world.
It's just timing. It's bad timing, man.
Yeah, I know. But you know what? I got to tell you, you're right. You're 1,000% right. We're in the middle of an economic swamp here. I know the confusion over, why is it inflation's going down, the prices are staying high? It's because we're getting gouged is why. But all that said, there is never a good time to make this announcement. We could all be rolling in dough, and people would still be screaming as loudly as they are now.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Francois Legault, speaking of him getting a pay raise, he also had to break a campaign promise. Did he have any other option other than to ditch the Levy tunnel?
Well, listen, was there ever a Levy tunnel?
Yeah.
We kept waiting for plans. We kept waiting for details. We kept waiting for impact studies. And, it was becoming something of an embarrassment because the opposition knew they had him by the throat. This was a campaign promise. It was aimed squarely at the people in the Quebec City Lévis region for political reasons. The idea that there had to be this third link. And now here's Francois Legault today saying, well, things have changed. What with all this telecommuting and people working from their homes and this and that. Excuse me, this was a pledge you made last October. Things have not changed that radically since then. But the idea, and I hate to say it this way, the idea of a single tube tunnel between Lévis and Quebec City dedicated to public transportation ain't going to happen.
No way, no how.
No. No,
right.
It's not. Ça vaut pas la peine, as we say in these parts. It's marvelous. Public transit's great. And someone's going to turn around and say, well, boss, if you throw a couple of reserve lanes on the two bridges we have, you'll probably be good to go.
Yeah, I think there was no other option here. Before I let you go, I just want to get your quick thoughts on the Prime Minister's $160,000 Jamaican vacation, because that's going to be the basis for my question of the day. What's your reaction? Just simple.
Well, let's be clear. $115,000 of that was security costs,
yes.
RCMP.
Mm-hmm.
He went away for New Year's. I think it's a mistake on his part. I don't begrudge a Prime Minister of Canada who spends $160,000 with his family and his entourage. He is the head of government. He's on vacation, but it's not like, we're under attack, Mr. Trudeau. I'm sorry, I'm windsurfing right now. Call me back. He's still on call. But once again, here he is. He's staying at a resort that is owned by a major contributor to the Trudeau Foundation, a friend of the family. And I mentioned this earlier this week, and it's like, does he have a problem figuring things out, or is he deliberately trying to provoke the public and his critics and seeing how much he can get away with? Because this, in his particular case, was a really, really dumb move.
I'm so with you. And it just feels arrogant. It feels like he's like, well, no, I can get away with this. I'm going to do it.
Well, I remember there was a member of his family, that's why I say, who once said, just watch me. Became his tagline. It's almost like this is what he's doing as well.
I'm with you and I hear you. Thank you so much, Jim. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Adam.